Good morning. This is Mrs. Scheller. I am here to read Dear Substitute. It's one of our Washington Children's Choice Picture Book nominees for 2020. I hope you'll enjoy it. The premise is that sometimes you get to school and you have a substitute and they do things a little differently. It begins right inside with a letter to the reader. Dear reader, this is not how today was supposed to go. Where's Mrs. Giordano? And why is this substitute mixing everything up? And here we have a picture of Miss Giordano looking rather ill, and the colors are blue to show that. On our title page, we read the title is Dear Substitute, written by Liz Garten Scanlon and Audrey Vernick. The pictures are by Chris Rushka. Let the story begin. Dear Substitute, wow, this is a surprise. What are you doing here? Where's Mrs. Giordano? And why didn't she warn us? Dear attendants, you're not quite right today. The substitute doesn't know how to pronounce anything. Poor Charvry and Betcha and poor Aliandrea. Dear homework that I stayed up all night doing, guess what? You're not being collected until Miss Giordano gets back. I could have shot more baskets last night after all. Dear Pledge, I pledge allegiance to Mrs. Giordano. I like her more today than I normally do. And if you look at the pictures, you'll see here's her substitute. And the colors are rather gray, and it looks like it's raining. Whereas on this side, we have a bright and cheery picture that says, We miss you, Mrs. G. So remember to look at the pictures to fully enjoy the book. Dear library, the substitute says we're not coming to you today, even though it's Tuesday, and I remembered to bring back my book. The substitute brought books from home that she thinks we should check out. That's what she said, and then she laughed. Dear Turtle, we're supposed to clean your tank today. It's Tank Tuesday. Everyone knows that. The substitute says maybe tomorrow. Please don't explode or die of dirt or escape. P.S. Mrs. Giordano would never skip tank cleaning day. Elmo says, Clean me. Oh, yes. Class rules. Dear class rules, we have you for a reason, and one of the rules should be the whole day can't be changed around by a sub named Miss Pelly. Miss Pelly is Pelly for like a pelican, she told us, and then she laughed again. Miss Pelly doesn't take anything seriously. Yep, she's a pelican. Dear line, yes, I do know I'm supposed to be the line leader this week, especially since I was chair stacker last week. I'm sorry that you know who doesn't know how we do things in room 102. Dear lunch, at least in here everything's the same, including chocolate milk and trading food with Connor, even though we're not supposed to trade food exactly. 3 celery sticks with cream cheese and raisins for 1 bag chips! Yummy chips. Uh, Dear Miss Pelly, now you care about rules? How did you even see us swapping? I think you have what my mom has, back of the head eyes. I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking about people being allergic to things. I was just thinking about Connor's yummy chips. Oh, dear tears. Not here. Not now. You understand. Ooh, dear story time. We usually only get you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's an extra. Miss Pelly says it's that kind of day. She says sometimes you have to mix things up a bit. By reading strange little poems instead of the chapter book we were reading before. Dear world, it turns out I really like poetry, especially funny poetry. Especially funny poetry about pelicans and crocodiles and underwear. Dear Turtle, here's a poem I made up. A funny old friend is Turtle, if he doesn't die of the dirtle. He's got a tough shell that helps him not smell. Tomorrow we'll get water and squirtle him. P.S. Miss Pelly helped. Dear Miss Pelly. Oh, look. The illustrations have changed quite a bit. The colors are bright and vibrant. There's smiles and hearts. Dear Miss Pelly, I wonder what kind of food you would bring in your lunch. I might write another poem. It might be about surprises and back of the head eyes and a switched around day that's A-OK. And a substitute who likes kiwi fruit. P.S. Do you? And our final page shows our friend taking flowers to Mrs. G at the end of the day, who's still resting up and getting better. Dear Mrs. Giordano, it's okay if you're not quite ready to come back tomorrow. We're doing fine. I mean, not exactly like if you were here, but sometimes you've got to mix things up a little. You know. And that is the story. Dear Substitute. Goodbye.